So I had a viewer ask me about putting recessed lighting in. He had one ceiling light fixture in his kitchen. He wanted to take it down and replace it with recessed lighting. It's actually pretty straightforward if you do it this way. You can just take your old light fixture out and then use the existing circuit and run it to the new recessed lighting. So I had a viewer ask me about recessed lighting. He was going to put some recessed lighting in his kitchen, and he wanted to replace an existing light fixture that was there. And he was wondering how he could do that or if that's possible. There are a couple of ways to do recessed lighting. Normally, you're going to do one of two things. You're either going to replace an existing light fixture that you have in the room, whether it's the kitchen or living room or bedroom or wherever, or you're going to basically run a new circuit, add a new switch, and then the new lights that you're going to put in. So in his case, though, he's going to take the existing circuit, use the wiring from the switch. If you use this method, you're going to just take the old light out. You're going to have a junction box that you're going to use, and you're going to run power from that junction box to the new lights. That junction box will stay in the ceiling unless it's changed and moved into the attic space. And then if we have recessed lighting all around the room, the wiring would simply go from that existing junction box to each new recessed light wherever it would be in the ceiling. So in situations like this, you can actually put recessed lighting in without having to do any kind of ceiling repair or patchwork when you're done. Remove the light fixture and run the recessed lighting from that existing light fixture. So this is pretty easy to do as long as you don't mind, getting dirty. You're either going to cut holes in the ceiling or you're going to be up in the attic doing some wiring up there. Really all you need to do is take the old fixture down, and then the existing junction box that's in the ceiling behind or underneath, if you will, the light fixture that's there, you'll see a junction box with the wiring in it. And in that junction box, you're going to run new wire to wherever your light fixtures or the new recessed lights are going to be at. So you might have 4 or 6 new recessed cans, and you're going to run the wire from that existing small junction box to each of the cans that you will have cut holes for. And you don't need to put new junction boxes. The recessed lighting itself has a little junction box on the side of it, so you're going to run your wire directly to that on the recessed light itself. And if she was going to replace this fixture and put in recessed lighting, if we were to take the fixture off, underneath the base right there, there's a junction box in the ceiling where the wiring is at. So you're going to run the wire without a junction box to each recessed can individually, and you'll kind of daisy chain it. You'll just jump from one to the other. So your wiring would go from the existing junction box that's in the ceiling to whichever can you want, the first can, and then the wire goes from that first can to the second one, from the second to the third, and so on. So the only issue is, which a lot of people don't really think about until they get into this type of project, is the junction box that's there is going to remain there. So, and there's going to be a hole in the ceiling. So you could buy a blank plate and put on that to cover it, but you'll see it in the room. So if that doesn't bother you, that's fine. You can buy a paintable plate. Or if that will bother you, if it's troublesome that you're going to have a blank junction box in the ceiling there, you have two other options. The second option is to take that same junction box and just flip it around. If you have attic access or you cut a hole in the ceiling, you just flip the box around and point the box up into the ceiling so that it's accessible from the attic space. And the other thing that you can do, if you don't want to see that junction box there, is to remove the junction box and rewire it. So you're probably going to come from, it depends on how it's wired. You can come from the switch or somewhere else in the house. You could rewire it completely without that junction box, but it takes a little bit more wiring to do that and a little bit more work. So hope that helps.